videos,
music,
podcasts,
road trips,
DIY projects,
and more.
You're hanging out with Ren and Mark, and this is
Rapid Fire with Robert's Roost.
I'm going to show you all how to hardwire an HDMI TV monitor, plus fix a pair of gaming headphones, and the dreaded third ground prong.
All right, so I have this little monitor I want to put in the car and wire it directly to the car. So it's 5 volt and 12 volt DC direct current. This is a 12 volt plug, and here's the 5 volt micro USB plug. So this 12 one is where I'm going to solder wires to coming out from the inside. Here's the screws, same on the other side. I keep the screws safe so I can put it back together. I use this little flathead screwdriver and pry it open carefully. Once you get it open, this little green chip here needs to come out. And the screws are different colors, so I'm not going to really worry about mixing them. Sometimes you have to worry about that. Once you get that apart, here's the 5 volt micro USB. Here's a 12 volt. So the center pin right there is a positive, and this little platform thing is a negative, and it's soldered in on the sides. So I'm take a wire and put some solder on it. That, like I said, that's the positive. On the other side of it going in is the same. It's the positive. I'm going to solder it there. It takes me a while, but I do get it done. So I glue down the wires so they're out of my way and don't tug on the solder. And then put it all back together. Also, I drill a hole in the back so I can feed the wire through the back to the outside to wire to the car. So I glued it down so that way the wires don't tug, like I said, on the solder. Put it all back together. Let's test it out. Negative to negative, positive to positive. It's on like a car battery, 12 volt battery. Voila. Okay, so I also got handed these headphones from a friend, a roommate, and his dog had chewed on them and ruined it. Don't work no more. I told him I can fix them. I can try. So you take off this take the 4 screws out. Careful with these little knobs, you don't want to break them. So those 5 solder points need to come out because it's this lead right here. So you just take those 2 screws out. Also unplug the battery so you don't accidentally short anything out. So I find the last break in the cable. When you find it, you cut it on the other side. There's the break. Last one, you cut it, and this probably isn't the right tool for doing this, but cut it. And then splice it apart. I like to take that insulation out. It's no good. So you can see that they're all separate, and you need 5 separate wires you need to separate out of that. And then I use a lighter to burn off some of the insulation so we can get a good connection. And like I said, desolder these and then resolder them down. So I did it. I did a horrible job because my soldering gun was giving me so much trouble. But I used a multimeter and made sure that they were connected right and not shorting out. Like I said, glue it down, glue the wires down, put the battery back together, put the screws back together, put the headphone back on, put the fluffy thing back on, and you're good to go. Last but not least, you see this ground is missing, and show you how to fix that. You just need a wire cutters, a screwdriver, and a new 3-prong plug. So make sure it hasn't been plugged in for a while, but cut it. I'm using the broken plug side to test to know for a fact which wires go where, so I'm going to splice them. But generally it's going to be white on the right one, black on the left one, green on the bottom one. But I use a multimeter to make sure which is which. So take this apart here. So you feed the wires back down through the bottom of that. And like I said, this is white, green, and black. So you put them in the little slots and then screw it down real tight so it holds onto the wire. Put it back in, put it back together. Screw this down though, it kind of holds the wires tight. So yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, just make sure to be safe. Always unplug it, unplug the battery, take your time, you know, you don't want to break more stuff, don't want to hurt yourself, so.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. You can check out our music, Robber's Roost, on Spotify, along with our podcast, Ragged Bones. Support us through our Patreon page. We appreciate you and couldn't do it without you.